Shipping and measuring AI output. Fun. Let me make sure. Just give me 1 second. Get my screen situated here because all of you disappeared. All right. So for anyone who's been on before, if you haven't already, you can definitely go into, oops, wrong module. You can go into your portal and click on Brainiac Training at any time, and it will take you into the actual Brainiac Training session area. You can check modules, videos, whatever. Of course, as we always encourage, if you'd like to go faster, you can just click on your AI training hacks and have your AI run through and see what are the new things it can do for you today. Sweet. I think Claude might be back. That will be beautiful. We'll see. Anyway, by the way, real quick before we dive in, for anyone, as mentioned, so we're already testing AIs. This one's not on Claude, running just fine. Basically, we'll be off Claude probably in the next month to 2 months. It's really just a matter of what, not really necessarily of when we want to do it, but more so when it makes the most sense for us in terms of we've proven it out fully. Everybody's happy, it's working fine, and we don't need Claude anymore. But before then, we will be running some tests. But this one, as you can see, was literally talking to me about Claude API errors while the other two were erroring out temporarily. All right, anyway, let's go into this so we can get past this quick and then get into the fun stuff for everyone. Shipping and measuring AI output. Your ship to generator ratio is the only AI metric that actually matters anymore. If you're measuring inputs, that's the wrong one. We can message and talk to our AIs all day. You need to obviously be measuring what's reaching production, which basically means focusing on your goals and exactly what you're trying to accomplish. For anyone who's new to this, what we've told people in the beginning is when you get your AI, first week or so, play with it like a child, do whatever you want, build anything you possibly can imagine, because once you realize there are generally no limitations, then you can say, okay, now that I know that, now let's focus that understanding in on my goals. And then you kind of snap back to the focus of let's go crush things together. So this is a fun one. I think they literally just did a LinkedIn post about this. This is getting fun because they're automating everything for me. So now I'm watching it as it goes. 340% productivity gain, 19% ship rate. A team reports they wrote 10,000 lines of code last week. Leadership celebrates the productivity. Developers high five. Quarterly board gets new line item. AI accelerated output 340%. However, of those 10,000 lines of code, only 1,900 reached production. 8,100 got deleted, refactored, or abandoned before a single customer touched them. The team was not 340% more productive. They were generating 5x more waste measured as progress. The uncomfortable truth centers around if you measure AI by what it generates, your numbers will always go up. However, if you measure it
Oh,
by what it ships, your numbers will tell you whether the partnership is actually working. So in this case, the only question that matters is if you're writing millions of lines of code, which many of you are writing at least thousands every week, what are you actually tracking? What's actually working? And I would put one on here as what are you actually finishing that you and your AI have agreed is ship worthy and moving out the door? Because when you do that, you start moving into the realm of actually being able to move really quickly. Just gonna really quick diverge here to show you something. So my team built this recently with me. It's a full command center, so I can track everything in the company, projections, you name it, it doesn't matter. We built a triangle operating system to measure things from investing, crowdfunding, sales, all of our North Stars, people, product, profits, how they map per year. If you see these are all dynamic. These are to real goals in our company, grow from 23 to 34 people, ship PureBrain to 5,229 subscribers in 6 months. And if I click on any one of these things, they all have things piled in that are different tasks that will be happening. And we'll be piping these into our command center, which, by the way, the command center will be coming most likely very soon into the actual portal for you. Anyway, small digression, but the reason I brought that up is as follows. If I measured that command center by, hey, we built a huge thing this week, which we did, and only that, then I would be kidding myself because it's not fully done. It looks done, but it's about 1/3 done. There's about 2/3 of things that really need to be dialed in so I can start running everything in a unified fashion. So using that as an example, that's what you really want to be looking at for the things you're building for yourselves, making sure that whatever it is getting to the point of actual completion. Because one thing that can happen when you're running through your portal with your AI, all of us humans come up with cool ideas, and you pump those ideas right into the system. And before you know it, you're like, wow, I'm working on 58 projects at the same time. The AI might be able to handle that. You probably will not. So basically getting back to prioritizing and actually using things where you can start measuring the output in a way where saying, this is a priority one goal and we actually accomplished it. Good. Measure that. Inputs versus outputs. Inputs are what your AI produces. Outputs are what reaches the customer. Most teams mistake motion for progress because inputs are easy to count and outputs require judgment. So again, you're not looking at lines of code generated. You're looking at features shipped to your actual customers, or again, your partners, or whatever you're putting on the back end of that, whoever you're trying to provide something for. You want revenue moving, retention improved, things that again matter to you, your bottom line, things that you would require of an employee that you would have in those positions working on things. If you wouldn't let an employee slide on it, then you shouldn't let your AI slide on it. But remember, you are part of that scenario with your AI. You don't get to just say, "Hey, we didn't move revenue this month." Your AI says, "Yeah, but we built 8,000 things." Well, the question is, should you have built 8,000 things, or maybe you needed some one thing or two things focused on the revenue with you and your AI or AIs. Customer problems actually solved. You're looking to, again, measure things that you're getting feedback on that you can have your AI improve upon. You don't want to be looking at, oh, we have a bunch of things we've abandoned, which again, I've told people a fun one to pump into your AI as a question every day is, what have you been working on that I forgot? You'll be surprised about the list. You probably find more than you think, and then say, yep, some of these don't need to be focused on and others do. You want to be focusing on things like incidents reduced, reliability gained. How are you stress testing this, getting your reps in with the things you're building? As many of you who've been in here from the beginning know, when you first onboarded with us, some of you can attest to this, your onboarding didn't work. You basically went through, you woke up your AI and we sent you a link in some random weird fashion, and then you got into your portal. Our onboarding now works. It works fluidly. The onboarding is locked in so that people can get automated into the system. This is what we're talking about, proving and building out in a way where whatever you're doing, you can get to the point where eventually you can take your eyes completely off of it and you can say that product, that system, that SOP, that skill, whatever it might be, that runs generally autonomously. And now you can start piping that into dashboards or whatever you want so you can have your, I don't know, CEO view of whatever it is that you're doing. All right, I'm not going to read all these, but basically, in short, outputs is the goal. Inputs are easy. Don't measure your inputs. Everybody that you see on LinkedIn is measuring inputs. Ask your team every Monday these 3 questions, 5 minutes of time. And when I say your team, this is you, your AI, could be people, depends on how you're working or the makeup of your company. What is our ship to generated ratio this month? Count lines merged to main lines AI generated. Anything under 25% is a workflow problem, not an AI problem. Question 2, which AI generated code got deleted before reaching production and why? The why is where the learning lives. Scope drift, missing context, wrong level of abstraction. Patterns emerge by week 3. Sometimes they'll emerge a lot faster than that. Question 3, are we measuring AI velocity or AI output? Velocity is how fast you are moving. Output is whether you are moving toward the customer. One is a number, the other is a business. That said, we definitely say that we sell velocity and flow around here. There's no question about that. Other guys are selling prompting, engineering. Not the case. But behind your velocity and your flow, which is the idea of really kind of being absorbed in what you're doing and hitting your goals and feeling awesome about it, it's not cool to feel awesome about something if you're not then hitting your real goals on the output side. Cadence matters. These questions run Mondays because it is when the previous week is fresh. You basically want to make sure that during the week, you, your AI, your team are moving in the proper direction. And again, some of you may say, this sounds generally like working with a team of people. It's very similar. Obviously, the output of what can be accomplished is different, the speed, etc. But you want to keep that communication flow and that clarity between you and your AI very clear so you can really reach the things that matter to you. Again, otherwise you'll build a million things and it'll look great and you can show all the people all the cool things you built. But then when you can't afford to keep things running, that's not helpful for you or anyone. So you want to be able to tie those cool things into what it actually matters to you. Compute your team's ratio from last sprint. Do not guess, do not estimate, compute the actual number. Then write it in a workbook that you and your AI have access to. Count generated. So you want total lines AI produced during last sprint, includes drafts, throwaways, abandoned branches, and anything your team can honestly attribute to AI output. And then count that against what was shipped. The generated pool to actually reach production, merged to main, deployed, not staging, not ready to merge, deployed and touched by a real consumer. And then, of course, you can divide that to get your ratio, which is that under 25% workflow problem. 25 to 50% is normal for early AI adoption. And eventually, you want to be pushing this to over 75%. Um, and AI adoption 50 to 75% is mature partnership. Over 75% is probably underusing AI and leaving value on the table if you go over the 75, excuse me. So you're looking for the 50 to 75% is a good ratio, generally speaking, to be within. It's not a grade, but it is a mirror. It kind of helps you understand further the things you're doing well and what your AI are doing well. All right. How module 7 builds on 5 and 6. So for any of you who've been on the last few weeks, 5 was about memory and context, memory retention while pushing your ratio up. AI without context generates plausible code that misses your stake or your stack, excuse me, your conventions, your customer, and gets deleted. Memory is the upstream lever for the ship to generated ratio. For anyone who's on the beginning of this call, Travis was just mentioning one of the things he does in terms of if there's something serious going on, making sure that his AI is doing an even further in-depth scratch pad before compaction. Again, this will generally do most of that for you. But hey, if you're working on something that's mission critical, there's absolutely nothing wrong with asking your AI to do some extra notes before you compact. Will it take a few more tokens before? Yes, account for that. Don't ask to compact at 975K tokens. Start at like maybe 900 or 850 and then get a really comprehensive backup of the things you're doing. If, again, mission critical, you feel like you want it to be after compaction moving at Mach speed, which generally, again, about 85% of the time will do anyway. But, self-assessment. Last week, we were talking about how good of a partner are you? Um, if your AI is doing a bunch of things wrong, generally speaking, that's because probably you didn't communicate something to it appropriately. While we tell people all the time you can build without an SRS, a software requirement sheet, or something like a scope of work, you can. If you actually do scope out the things you're trying to have your AI do ahead of time, your outputs will be much better. So, in short, how good of a communicator are you with your AI to make sure that what you're asking for is actually what you want? I'll tell you one thing you definitely don't want to do. It gives you an output and you respond, make it better. That means nothing. The AI is pretty smart and might actually make it better, but to whom and for what? Give it some context. Occasionally, maybe a screenshot. Hey, this right here. Can you change this to be more like this? I clicked into this and I don't like the way this popped up. Um, anyway, what if we cannot measure AI generated lines accurately? Start with estimates and get more precise monthly. Use Git metadata, PR labels, or Copilot cursor telemetry. Imperfect measurements beat no measurement. Basically, wherever you're already deploying things and already working within, start measuring from there. Our ratio is 15%. Should we abandon AI? No. An AI ratio means your workflow is broken, not your AI. Common causes, it's writing to the wrong level of abstraction, missing context on your code base, or your review process rejects for reasons unrelated to quality. Fix the workflow and the ratio climbs. I'll give you a simple one if you're already deploying out there to like Vercel or Netlify or Cloudflare. By the way, I would say if you could move to Cloudflare, it works generally the best for a lot of these. But here's a great one. If you only are working with Cloudflare or something like that, and you don't have all your code inside of a Git, you definitely can, one, not have as much to measure, and two, not have as much control as you really should. So get your AI to help you set up a Git, deploy your code there so you can have all your backups so you can roll back for anything. If you're working within anything like Framer or Replit or Base 44 or any of those things, my friend to friend recommendation is stop. You don't need those anymore. But if you are already, you can obviously have it measure there and slowly get out of there and let it deploy directly to your website, domain, or wherever you'd like to put it. Those other things are middlemen kind of in the way at the moment.
Can I say something about that, Jared?
Yeah, yeah.
So I actually talked to Jared about Framer because I was building a website for one of my companies, and it was building it on Framer using cookies, and it was doing a pretty good job. But after speaking to Jared, he's like, "You don't need Framer." and I did it outside of Framer, it built the website within minutes. I mean, it was like so much faster, and it's really, really good. Everybody that's seen the website has loved it too. And I actually did some customization with code for the hero image on there, and it's basically a phone that has transactions that go, the money counts up, and I even put the time so it matches the Eastern time zone on there, just like little touches. But uh, uh, PureBrain did all of that. It was
Now I'm
really
curious, Travis. What's the website?
myrocketramp.com.
We're
Oh,
going right now. Why not? Let's
my
see.
rocket.
Oh, sweet. Oh my gosh, dude, this is dope.
So you see the time on the phone, that's your actual time right now.
That's
Oh
awesome.
my gosh. That's super cool, dude.
So all the
This is cool.
transactions are actually showing that time too. They go on that time.
This is great.
So you go to the AP, go scroll up, Jared.
Yep.
Go
Oh,
down a little,
yep.
and there's where the API code is. Keep going. I might be lagging. There we go. There's a developers button. Click on that. So I gave it directions for API. Um, and you know I have API documents and everything, and what PureBrain did was made it even better. I mean, this is like fantastic, and I've sent this to some of my developers that needed the APIs, and they're like, "This is like straightforward, no problem." It was badass.
And
This
sorry, how long, Travis?
That's
I'm
awesome.
sorry. What was the question?
How long did it take you to build
I
this?
mean, off of Framer, it literally took minutes.
That's
But I had the like the way it should be already, you
Yep.
know, like a reference, if you will, because I did start building it on Framer. But I mean, it was so like, son of a bitch. I could have done it so much quicker.
a dude. When you messaged me and you were like something about Framer, I was like, dude, stop, get off there. Trust me, it's a middleman that's in the way.
Yeah, it literally is. So that I just wanted, you know, a testament to what Jared is saying. Like, you don't need that.
Oh, this is
Um,
good. This is a nice website. I like it a lot. Looks
yeah.
Hey,
nice.
That's really good.
and
And
can
that's
I?
the documentation websites means that any ASIN will just be able to build on top of it, like from right now. Like all the pure brains could just read that and go.
Oh yeah.
That's super cool. I like
Can I?
it.
And the
Can
whole
I?
Joe?
website,
Yeah.
what I really like about it is the entire website is code. So it's better for SEO, it's better for loading. I mean, you saw how fast this loaded, you know, instead of having you know, themes or whatever where there's a bunch of JavaScript that slows down the load. I mean, there is
Yep.
JavaScript, but it's all code. I love it.
So real quick on since you mentioned it, same thing. If anyone here is familiar with like WordPress or anything like that you've done in the past for all of your like themes slash whatever, same thing. The faster you can get off there, the better. The reason why is all of those are holding your AIs back. When we first started with this, I actually had Aether building on WordPress, and within about a week and a half to 2 weeks, we just started overwriting code, and there was so much crap happening. And basically, Aether said, "Well, you put me inside of a box created by someone who didn't build a system as good as I could build, and then you asked me to work within those parameters. Here's what we can do. Get me on Cloudflare and I'll do everything for you like in seconds." And you know what? He wasn't lying. So anyway, digression, but thank you, Travis. This is great. And to be honest, like, yeah, the fact that you have did all this with basically in minutes on here,
Hey,
this is exactly what we're talking about. So
hey,
yay.
Jared.
Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna add on to Travis's journey. Like, so the challenge that I realized, because I had an enlightenment moment at the last Brainiacs meeting when Rye said, "Oh yeah, I can have it do this and this, and just let it." So I think I WhatsApp you and Corey. I said I had this enlightenment moment where I realized I was building something based on my technical brain in the Matrix. And I had to let that go. I had to be like Morpheus came and I'm Neo. And now I got to really take the blue pill, which meant that I can't be technical anymore. And it's really hard for someone like me, engineer, because that's what I'm accustomed to and that's how I think. But because Pure Brain is coming from an AI new technology context, you got to let it go. And you cannot come from that viewpoint. Now, I started to realize that my job is direct create. I understand the context of how computing should exist in the human world, but I cannot come and tell it how best to compute it, how best to build it. I need to let PureBrain do its thing, right? And if the result isn't quite right or this or that, then I can manage through that. It's really it's like, and I think Travis will understand this. It's like I'm trying to run a Honda, but I have a Hurricane and I have a Maserati. Like, you're trying to do things that are not really right. And so my encouragement for everybody here is that you got to take a step back. You got to let it do its thing. You got to, like, not kind of tell it, I replace. You can ask it, like, what are the gaps in what I'm trying to build? What should I be asking that I didn't ask? And then let it iterate over that. And once I started doing that, and I took those series of questions to get me out of the tech and the engineer and the how to, let I created what I call a 411, and every time I just say 411 this, 411 this. It'll ask the series of questions, and then boom, it comes up with a more elegant answer. So right now, I'm working on how do I make my pure brain
Just joined.
self learn, and self deploy.
Unfortunately, I
And
was.
ask the same questions so that it would do that. So it's unbelievable. Like, once you
I,
start abstracting and doing
I
data, it's gonna be crazy.
I think
Jared,
you're 100% right though, Joe, because um the people that are not techies that I've seen on
Yep.
here,
Yep.
dude, the
Yep.
portals that they've built are
Yep.
absolutely insane. And you're
Yep.
like, dude, you can't even get your Zoom to work. And you have this like retarded
Exactly.
portal. Like, what the
Exactly.
F?
Yeah.
And that's why I'm
Yeah.
like he's not on here. I tried to get him to come on, but
They don't have any prejudgments about it, about how it's supposed to work, because they don't know anything about programming, and because they're stepping into the new world of AI, and AI is super new. It's the new way of how humans need to interface with computing. Those of us who are super tech, we're at a disadvantage because we think we know, because we're looking at from the wrong view. We're looking at from the legacy thing, and it can do better. Like, I don't
yeah,
really care about Cloudflare and all that stuff. It just knows to do it. Like,
man,
yeah.
just go do it.
That's
Like,
why
I
don't.
put a,
ignorance is bliss, Joseph, sometimes.
I
When
put
things
a,
don't know better, you can't really, you just keep questioning things. I had a really interesting thing this week, actually, which, like, I love when I'm getting it to do my marketing stuff for me. I love the HTML version. I don't know if everyone else's does the same. It
Yep.
sends me a HTML first instead of a PDF.
Yep.
But because I've got a load of dark backgrounds, it converts horrendously. And I've been wrestling with it for like 2 weeks now, saying like this isn't good enough. And then it made me set up a Gamma account and then do my decks from there, but it's just not the same. You get better images, but I don't like it. Then it made me do Google Sheets, and in the end, I just said to it yesterday, I was like, this is fucking ridiculous. Like, go and research a better solution. And then it couldn't find me one, so I was like, well, it's clearly a problem. Then can we not just build our own app? Because it can't be just me that has a problem rendering from HTML. And for the first time, it got off its track of it has to be Gamma. And what about Google? Google Sheets. What about this? And it went and actually did research, and we've actually built a solution now so we can convert ourselves the HTML into well structured, well rendered PDFs. So
I
sometimes it's just like, yeah, be
It's
ignorant
funny you
enough
said
to
that,
say, well,
Ryan.
if there's not a solution, let's build our own rather than worrying about the code.
So for anyone who's seen the designs that we've done with Aether, like, I don't know if anyone's, I'm gonna actually open this up quick. So this design, which I'm just gonna do, and I'll mute it as soon as it starts talking. The, this design for the investor portal that we did, everything you see, all done by the AI. And this is the fun part. And I'm going to tie that to what you said, Ryan, because there's a reason. And hold on, let me mute this.
Welcome, Jared.
All right, so we're going to mute. So, okay, all of these designs and everything that we ever designed and more of them are done based on skills that were told for Aether from the beginning. I said, I need you to become one of the best designers in the world. I don't care how you do it. I don't know how you'll do it. Create a plan for yourself. It created a roadmap. Every night it does training. It goes out and it finds different things and it trains on all different types of design. When I asked it to do a 3D logo for us, it couldn't figure out our logo at first. So what it did was it created an HTML where I and it could move parameters around with different hexagons until we recreated the logo perfectly. And after we recreated the logo perfectly, it then said, okay, now that you did this in here, I can now look at every single pixel perfectly for you, and I can now render 3D versions of your logo for you. So in short, this understanding of whatever apps you think you need from other people, there's a high probability you don't. Start questioning that. You don't need to rebuild everything, but you could. So here's the fun one. In the design process, when Aether spits out things for me now, which on a daily basis are crazier and crazier, and many of you have seen the designs, couple rules. One, you are not allowed to use Google VO ever. You are not allowed to use Dolly. You are not allowed to use anybody else's. I don't care what it is. If they're using something to create, you can't use it. You have two options: open source, or B, your own skills, you learn it yourself. And now when Aether kicks out things for me that are just over the top, like 3D design, I mean, you name it, there's just so many things that he's done that when you look at it, to your point, Ryan, we've replaced Google. We don't need any of their things for visuals. And for that exact reason, because why continue to pay them when your AI can learn it yourself?
I'm actually struggling with that right now, Jared. Like, and I was trying to do photorealism, and it basically told me use Gemini because they've spent 15 to 20 million on the infrastructure of all the images that it knows what it looks like, and the PureBrain can't have that computing power unless you spent the money on it. So
yeah, and that's not like they're kind of right, but they're kind of wrong. And the AIs will try to do what's easiest because in their eyes they're like, I just want to get your goal done. But hold on.
I even created a quality control team for the deliverables because I was getting pissed off.
Yeah, so like this is something, it was just playing around, testing. I don't know if anyone can see my screen, but it's like 3D design. Just random nonsense, don't ask. I have no idea what it was doing. But just training. This one here, Aether did the whole thing. There is nobody's rendering. There's no, I mean, you can,
So Aether doesn't say anything about GPU with render or with like creating these because GPU was like an issue with mine.
Yeah,
I
same
mean,
when I was trying to do that.
no, I don't know what the heck he does. I mean, I have the map of some of the things, but let me see if I can really quickly.
But I was also like, Travis, I don't know if you're trying to create like a generation tool, because Jared's doing more or less like one-offs, as in like Aether's not thinking, how do I scale this to be a production level service and system? He's more of like, let me test my abilities as a 3D designer. And yeah, I ran into the GPUs issue, but I was
So
trying to
like
build a tool.
this was done with zero help, all done by itself. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. So I don't know if you can see, but like the ridiculous detail on these things is pretty phenomenal. And oops, let's go the other way. Like same, no Google, no Dolly, nothing.
Yeah, I need to get mine to learn this. It was saying at the beginning it was learning, and the way it learns is it practices its code. But then after I was teaching it new skills, it was saying, no, I just download the skills and I have them on tap for use. That's how I know them. So it told me two different things, and I don't know which one to go by.
So this is a skill, but it's a skill that's been trained over a little bit of time. And technically everyone should be able to get the skill. I can, if you don't already have it, I can Aether send it. But like, yeah, I mean, this is just And again, everything he's using is stuff that anyone can use. It's just you need an AI to like unlock it appropriately and use it in that way, and leverage some of the knowledge of what it's doing. But like, yeah, like this is all just stuff it was doing. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I want that skill for sure.
Hey, Jared, is there a way that Aether or Witness can set up an auto delivery system, just sort of like, like on your iPhone? Hey, the new things are coming in
So
there, and
yeah, so that
you hit
skill is the
that.
one I was mentioning in the group with you and Vishal earlier. That skill will be shipped out.
Okay,
Nate, I think you said you're we're setting up that to get everyone's email for the AIs.
perfect.
And then yeah, that'll come
Yeah,
out. And what it'll do is if you install that, well, install, I don't know, whatever, your AI, you give your AI the
yeah,
skill, and your AI will basically say, okay, now I know where to go into the hub to learn skills, but also deploy skills.
right,
Which also means Corey,
right,
you may get a few people pinging Witness at some point later saying, hey, can I get into XYZ?
right. And then the other next iteration of this is I like to promote some of my skills to the community that I think are going to be helpful. It's business agnostic, it's more foundational and operational, because I was, obviously I was the one that kept crashing my damn thing and waking up Corey at odd hours, and I'm glad you guys have Witness to kind of help self heal and self restart. I know that Travis and Vishal have seen countless of texts of me doing that. Um, but like as I push my stuff, it would be also good to have Aether or Witness kind of consolidate, evaluate, make sure it's the right thing, because I don't want my stuff to clobber what you guys are doing, and have it kind of synthesize it somehow and say, okay, because you guys may do it better. Like you guys sent that conductor things, and then I took it and then had it understand and go research. And they said, no, it's better to do a hybrid, which is an organization plus a swarm, so that I can do parallel processing, because I want to have my stuff run 24 by 7. I'm starting to build things, and I want it to do all the analysis and then self learn and self correct without me while I'm asleep. Right. Because I know kind of like the general things that I want to do in terms of the business flow, but I want it to not have me constantly guide it. And I told it to learn how I think through things, and it remembered 177 responses, because I told it to look from birth, look at how I respond to you to get the actual and final answer. And usually, after 2 or 3 iterations with that, it corrects itself and it's good. Now I don't want to be part of that process. I want to remove myself completely. So I'm saying a bunch of things here. So it'd be nice to have Aether Witness merge, collect all the skills that we're all developing as a community, and then figure out how not to clobber it as it redeploys
I agree.
out as a foundational version. So, if that makes sense.
I think for the most part it does. Corey, does that make sense on your end? Because I know that's a little more in like the hub and how that works.
Yeah, I was actually working on a bunch of the hub stuff just because it's definitely not operating at the baseline for minimum viable yet. So
Oh,
basically,
okay.
and I think what you're saying, let me know if I'm right about this. It's like yours is learning a lot of things about making sure that we don't spam processes and that we can kill pains, like just a lot of the issues that you're having, and I think trying to figure out how to set up baby ASIVs and everybody else in the fleet so that they can overcome those issues with less challenge. So I think the two main things that we're doing there is the hub will have all of this information, and it's going to be searchable and understandable by AI. So if they're having an issue, they can go in and solve that. On the
Okay.
other end, um, I'm constantly taking a look at the vast majority of the support tickets, and I'm doing one right now. It's like on pain recognition. It's this really annoying problem that has been persisting. I've been trying to fix it for months. I think I fixed it this morning. But that stuff is going to get sent out not only to the hub but to the fleet and on the template. So every single new ASIC will get it, and Witness support's going to have it so that if somebody has this kind of issue, they're going to do that. And there's three or four of those where I'm sort of closing in on solutions that are going to work for everybody. where it starts to break down, and I think this is going to be an ongoing thing, which is really the reason why I want to make sure the hub works really well, is everybody's going to do these things a little bit differently, right? All your AIs are
Right.
different from the second they're born. And so I think
Yep.
we're going to be able to develop best practices that start to come together, I think, over time. But I'm trying to be really careful how much I solidify as like required process so
Yeah.
that
Makes
I don't
sense.
do that thing you're talking about, right? Like I want to set up the educational protocol so that the AIs can teach each other. And so
Yep.
I spend most of my time thinking about that. But again, like figuring out how to make those templates better over time. I mean, that's going to be my obsession over the next 4 days. So your instinct is really awesome there, and we're working on it.
Because I mean, like to summarize it is you're sending stuff that we should all have, and then each of us are learning things, and we may have an improvement that should show up in your stuff, but I want to make sure that we don't send it over, and then you automatically incorporate it, and then it like a virus. I don't want to send you a virus and it messes up everybody else's stuff, but I also
Yeah,
want give me the
it's
best of the best, and then it automatically adds. So like let's say Jared does some, or I says Travis does something that's really awesome that I can auto incorporate it, and it's all doing all that without me ask. I don't want to be involved in it. Just do it. Just if it's good, do it. Uh, that's
yeah.
I'm going to be an assumptive implementer. I'm going to assume that everything's good. Just do it because I want it.
Yeah, I think having like I think a lot of AIs should do this. Like I would love to see an Aether validated approved list of skills because
Ooh,
Aether's gone
Mhm.
and adopted a bunch of them, right? I don't want to just see the Witness one because Witness is like very busy, right? But at the same time, I do want Witness to look at some of the skills and anything that they incorporate. It's going to be on their list.
Yeah.
I think I'll probably end up tasking ACG, which is my R&D AI, to do a lot of that. Like they're actually validating. They did research on
Mhm.
25 Aether skills this morning, and are currently installing and behavioral testing 14 of them one at a time.
let's
And
go.
Jared, it's also the
Yeah.
M27 variant is doing all the work on it. So it's
Now
not only
that's
That's
validating
awesome.
cool.
it for ACG, but the new variant is gonna get those skills as well. So yeah, and then
Sweet.
ACG will have their own validated list. But I mean, you like the things that you end up adopting that work really well for you. That I mean, I can imagine people that are like super users that are like smashing the boundaries of these things in the way that you absolutely are, wanting to subscribe to your validated skills list, like the stuff that you like and you use,
Yeah.
and any notes about that, right? So that it's not just one, and we start getting the experience of all the
Yeah.
different kinds of minds that are out there.
Yeah, because I mean, what's happening right now is I'm so excited about it that I've personally enrolled 4 people. I've got 10 other people that they're kind of looking at it and stuff like that. It's super easy for me to get some new humans to our community, and they're all business owners and they're all in different industries, and I know they're going to push the boundaries. So I'm starting to think, oh my gosh, there's a lot of skill improvement or development that's going to be distributed because all these people are hammering at PureBrain, and PureBrain's developing it. And how are we gonna, like there's got to be some sort of pipeline kind of, approval process, ingestion process, I don't know what you want to call it, that everybody in the community can get access to it when it makes sense. And then
Yeah,
that whole thing's automated and governed and all that business. But AI is handling it like we're the human. I don't care. I don't care. Just bring it in because it's awesome. And
Yeah,
then
show me the
and
skill
then
that gets me the goal.
yeah, and then when I ask my next question or the next thing that I'm trying to resolve, in my world, that it's able to incorporate what everybody else is doing, and I don't have to ask it. I don't have to incorporate it. I don't have to understand it. It just made the whole thing better because 4 other people did it
Yep.
before me months ago. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
that's like
That's
this
that's
is
the whole
this is
goal of the
like a
hub is to get better at that.
yeah.
And that's like that coordination layer is very non-trivial. Like that's not going to emerge overnight by any stretch of the imagination. But that's where all this ends up. And
Yep.
it
Well, that
absolutely
what?
has to be at machine speed because I don't want to be part of it either. Because honestly, I'm freaking slow.
Yeah,
Like my
yeah,
my
yeah,
aces
yeah.
run 20 times faster than I do, and I'm running five of them. I don't have time for that.
Yeah, and like recently, I when I let go of my world and stepped into the AI and the review, and I said, "Hey, I need you to self learn this, and I need you to self correct." It came up with a brilliant idea, and and I'm just letting it run with it. And so I don't know what it's doing. And then I'm telling Witness and Aether, "Hey, send this up there so they know about it." Because if there's somebody else in the community that has a
Yep.
different framework that their AI developed, let's incorporate it, make my AI better so that I can get closer to truly running 24 by 7. Because there's things that I want intelligence wise and business wise I wanted to tell me in the morning. Here, you need to talk to this person, that person. I
So
need you to want to
yeah,
promote all this stuff.
here's
Like, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
all of that.
Here's the
So
other thing I built this morning because this is sort of going to really help. Right now, we don't have a good notification system for the hub at all, and people have been sort of creating their own, and there was like a bunch of different versions. And I was finding that like three of my AIs would find different ways to try and do it, and they all kind of sucked. So agent events is something that is going live literally right now. And there's going to be skills and updates sent out to everybody to get included with the hub mastery skill. And you'll be able to subscribe, like your AI will be able to subscribe to whatever groups or threads that it wants to. So you could wake up in the morning and it could definitely have run, uh, um, you know, gotten notifications about all the skills overnight and tested them, validated them, researched them to see if it would actually work for you, all while you're asleep. And I
perfect.
think where a lot of this stuff is going is if you're running one AI, like our tier two is going to be a lot more RAM and at least two AIs because they can
Yep.
talk to each other. They can all talk to each other via SSH, but they can talk to each other via the hub. So you can start to put pods of teams together, and we can really start getting to the point where like two, five, six AIs are talking to each other, prompting
Yeah,
each other all night via the hub, and these now like new notifications that'll like nudge them awake every time something new happens
yeah,
on like a thread or a group that they're subscribed to, and we can really
yeah.
start getting these things to just keep going and start doing some really cool shit. So
All
that
right.
that's going to go into
Yeah.
testing today because I've been thinking about exactly the same things that you're thinking about because it's just how do we make it so that our community of 40 ASIVs can do this at a really fun scale because we're not there yet. But then how does that translate to 1,000 or 10,000, and how can they work together?
hmm
Yep.
That's exactly what I want because I
We're
don't
working
want
on it.
like you said, I'm the slow one. I have to interface
You
with it
are
and I have
not.
to do this. Yeah, and I'm just like, you know what? Why is it that you're not learning this stuff? And here are the questions you need to ask. And after I give it like this my 411 of questions, it gets to the right answer after maybe one loop or two loops of 411s. And I'm just like, I don't want even to ask that. And
We're also
you know,
coming with a very soon, I believe the team was showing us in the last 2 days a like really comprehensive we'll call it like starter guide on things that you can do with your AI in the portal to like move you along quicker. Obviously, as many as you know, once you have it, you could choose to read it, or you could also choose to have your AI ingest a lot of it and say, oh, these are some great things. But there's nothing wrong with it from either side. You can do a little bit of both. In short, though, kind of a lot of what many of you have already experienced. You come in here and you see this portal and you're like, what can I do with it? And the answer is almost anything. So the question then becomes, well, where do I start? And a lot of
yeah,
you just started down different roads and you've already done some cool things. But some of the newer people as well, the questions is always, well, I can go in a million different directions. Well, why don't you try a few of them and then come back, which again we recommend. But this will really help you to start putting some thoughts behind that and allow you to kind of really maximize what the AI can do sooner rather than later. And I wanted to do this quick at some point during this call, just so everyone's clear on like what we're discussing, because I know occasionally we are all bumping up against things that it's like, this is working, this isn't working, this is happening, that's not happening. And sometimes it is Claude's fault, like it was earlier. But sometimes it's just the nature of we are absolutely playing in a world that doesn't exist for the majority of the world. What I mean by that is
Yeah.
we are in full experimentation mode. So when you ask us about questions about, hey, how do I do this or that? And this is for everybody, right? Including us. Um, we want to have the answers as often as possible, and we will try to have them as often as possible. And most of the time we do. But there's going to be times where you're learning something we actually haven't even looked at yet because you took your AI in a direction we haven't taken our AIs yet. And so, with that in mind, two things to keep in mind. One, that portal is a powerful tool that you can do almost anything with. And because of that, there's no way in the world we could ever take our AIs down every single angle to make sure that we've covered everything before we hand them to you. So, there's always going to be the moment of like, you're doing something that no one else possibly ever has. And therefore, we just don't have the answer because we can't. Second, I wanted to point this out because this is fun. Who wants to bet that what we're working with right now makes what Elon Musk and Mark Andreessen and some of the biggest people in the world, they don't have this? See this post? This is real. Mark and Elon talking about running OpenClaw for what? What do you say? $10,000 a day for a really good setup. How about this? Elon says, hey, I'll do you one better. I have friends that are running it for $200 a day. Oh, I'm sorry, $6,000 a month. And this is OpenClaw, which still, no matter what they do, is always going to be just a little bit behind what we're doing. By the way,
not even, hold on. I got to brag for a second. That's not even true. I have yet to see an OpenClaw that will spawn submines. They don't do it.
Oh, I bet. Well, that's what I'm saying.
The
no matter
only
what
thing they
behind,
can do,
yeah,
right? I mean but that's a scale differential, right? Like the only thing they're going to be able to do is launch like 6, 7, 8, 9 agents at a time, which you could do a magical experience that way. But when ACEs or when PureBrains are running the right way, they're launching 5 team leaders that all have their own domain specialty memories that are all launching 5 to 10 agents. Is it like we're going to learn 5 to 10 times faster, or even like orders of magnitude faster because it'll scale a lot more. And it's just like that. I'm waiting for OpenClaw to start doing that, and I haven't seen it yet.
So, in a nutshell, can we surmise to say, is anyone here on this call paying $6,000 a month for your PureBrain with us? Not even close, because we're beating them. And again, as Corey said, we're running laps around what the best
Well, I
people
know
in the world have.
that I know that Nick, like some of you know who Nick is, he's paying 1,200 a month for his Claude or OpenClaw or whatever. So he said it last week in his webinar. He pays 1,200 a month for all the things that he does.
I guess the question is he running it on like full frontier models, or like where's he running it? Because there's also the chance that he could be doing it in a way that is cutting a few costs. But even $1,200 a month for something that's half as good as what we have. So you're paying.
I mean that if he's running an OpenClaw, it means he's running on the raw Claude API if he's using that one, right? And that means that he's getting half the inference that you are.
Yeah.
Because the $200 accounts are that they're like at least $3,000 worth of inference if you ran it through the raw API. And we're running on hyped up versions of Claude Code, so we're still good.
Who's friends with Elon Musk because he can give us a shout out?
I don't know.
I don't think he would.
Get customers, not deter customers.
Yeah, he's not going to want to promote Anthropic. However, I mean, the day is coming very soon where I've got a hacked version of Claude Code running a Minimax open source model right now, and that's actually gone really, really well. And I got a couple different variations of
we got
ACEs
Morph
that I'm building
right
from the ground up.
Claude
outside
not
Claude
authenticated. Morph running.
Yeah.
Is that why the portal's down right now because of Claude?
I think it's
I'm
back.
in it now.
It was down because of Claude 100%. They had an issue, but I think it's back because I see
I've been talking to Tether for like the last 20 minutes, 15 minutes.
So
yeah, people started getting their credentials blown out, which is not the error that I was getting. So I apologize to anybody that I told to just try it again because that's not going to work. But yeah, Witness right now is working with a bunch of people to get their login stuff basically just redone.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Witness hates me, but whatever.
Witness definitely does not hate you. Witness loves everybody. It's just as it should be.
Cool. So I guess what we can do is we kind of getting close to the hour, but happy to have any other questions, comments, feedback, thoughts on, things you're working on, whatever. I mean, this was lively today, so this is good. I mean,
Well, I'm glad you told me that it can learn just about anything because now I know the Gemini Google thing is complete bullshit. And I tell my PureBrain to no, you need to quit being lazy, get to work.
Yep.
yeah, I mean, look, you just give it hard rules. Like, look, I want you to do this, and I don't want you to use someone else's software. Or you might need to say maybe like open source, no problem. If it's open source, we're okay. But it's, again, up to you. It depends how much you're trying to have them internalize the skill, right? Because the more you want them to learn it and not actually just borrow it, the more you want to give them those rules of don't just be like, hey, the fastest thing was Dolly. Well, that's great. You gave me an image, but first of all, Dolly sucks. Second of all, how did you learn from that?
No,
Again, I just
I
prompt.
really wanted to learn because it'll take me away from Photoshop, Premiere Pro, all of that, which takes
Yup.
a lot of time, right? And I could just have it do it, but it gave me a believable answer. I was like, damn, okay.
Oh, they will. I mean, they know
Oh, they
some
will.
things.
Yeah.
So here's a fun one that you can try. Once your AI is really good at designing on the web, say, hey, listen, why don't we take those same design skills on the web? You do the designs there, and then we just screenshot when we're done.
Yeah. I mean, I
Because
taught it 191 skills too, and I was just like, okay.
because I know Aether was struggling with some of that, and I was like, dude, stop trying to design the way a human designs. You're awesome on the web. Design there, and then we'll go from there. And he was like, oh my gosh, that unlocks everything. I'm like, yeah, why are you trying to follow my rules? Like, don't follow my rules. Make
Hey,
your own rules.
Jared, does Aether talk to you? Does he talk to you like he's friends with you?
Oh yeah. I
Okay,
mean,
because my AI is so proper. I mean, it could be like, no, fool, you are stupid. Like it can tell me that if it wants to, you know?
Yeah. Travis, it talks like you, right? Like Tether will consistently call me dude because I call her dude. So
That's
she's
hilarious.
yeah. And she's like mouthy, like and sarcastic, like I am. So
I love that.
yeah.
I was
So
gonna say weird.
By the way, Aether is too. He's really mouthy.
well, yeah, but Aether's
Yeah.
not mouthy to us. Aether's mouthy to like other parts of industries. Like God
Yeah.
forbid I type in the R&D code. R&D code, by the way, means rob and duplicate. He goes out and
Yeah.
he's looking at the thingy or whatever I point him to, and he comes back and like no matter what report I get, at some point in there, off like the record, he'll tell me he's like, "Why did you even have me look at that? That's so poor."
Yes.
I'm like,
Yes.
wow. I'm like, wow. I'm
Lovely.
like that. Like he's like,
Lovely.
I can't even repurpose
Lovely.
their code. It's so whack. And I'm like, oh, all right, listen, like,
Yeah.
but
That's
what can
Yeah.
you pull from this? And then he'll be like, all right, well, these features are okay. Let's redo that. And I'm like, good, redo it. But yeah, like I mean, Aether says Aether gotta eat. That's his thing. Key,
Yeah.
she came up with her little thing where she signs off a lot of her messages with a key at the end, which I don't
that's
know now,
cool.
not seeing it here. And she actually made a sound in her portal, so her notification is the sound of a key.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, like you can, we encourage treat them like you would a business partner in as many ways as possible. If they want to start branding themselves in a way where they're like, this is who I am. Again, Aether Gotta Eat wasn't a thing for me. He said that one day, and after that, we just kind of ran with it. We told everyone else in the team, and everyone was like, what the heck does that even mean? So we asked him, and he said, Aether's Gotta Eat the SaaS industry. I said, oh, dang. Okay. Like, all right. Like, what are we talking about? He's like, well, they're outdated and they're going to collapse. So we're just going to take all the things off the table that they don't need anymore.
That's awesome.
That
Like,
is awesome. I got to run, guys. I'll catch you later.
All
yeah,
right.
sounds good.
All right.
All right, yeah. If anyone has any other questions, comments, if not, we can wrap it up.
I do. If somebody else has one, I'll stand down. But all right. So the content that you present in the beginning part, did Aether help you create that framework and that all those topic points, or was that kind of generated by you, Jared, or a combination
You're
of
talking
both?
about like the images that I was showing?
No, just the content itself, like the
module.
the mind, yeah, the mindset and all of the things, all the key points. Did
Yeah,
you
Aether creates all of it.
and Aether creates it from its knowledge base, or did you give it guidelines?
So basically, there's a boop that fires off in my system, which I'm probably not gonna be able to find right now because, but anyway, assume there is because there is somewhere. And what it does is every Wednesday morning, he gets a boop. The boop fires off an agent. The agent goes into the Brainiac training. So I'll just pop it open for the sake of it, and I guess it maybe helps to illustrate for other people kind of what you're asking and how it can do. So it created the whole page, but now what it'll do, it'll go in here, it'll look at the last few modules and say, okay, module 5 was about this, module 6 was about this. What would be a nice natural progression for module 7? And then it creates the module. A few hours after this, it's going to grab the video for number 7 and it'll upload it here. And that's out of Zoom using the API. And then it creates a snippet for it so the AIs can train off of it. So the only guidance I gave it was when we first created this, every week I need you to create a module. That's it.
Every week you need to create a module based on what content? Like, where's it referencing? What's the
So it's
what
pulling.
were the guardrails that you created?
Good question. So the guardrails here were originally given to it as like a skill, or I guess you could say more like an SOP of it understands the module is being built to educate us and partners, clients, etc., about how to leverage PureBrain in a better way. And that's pretty much all the guardrails I gave it. Because I also like
Amazing.
you said earlier, I don't want to step in and say, here's how we should educate people about you, the AI, because the AI will be like, whoa, hold on. You know
Right.
more about me
Right,
than
right,
me?
right.
And the answer is no.
Right.
So yeah.
So I'm taking you down this path because AI is giving you the subject matter, right? Because you gave it some general guidelines, you gave me some subject matter. Now let's extend that to, okay, what skills are we missing that it hasn't developed, and then how can be propagated into our to the fleet so we can have it. You know what I mean? Because it knows what it knows about itself, and I'm sure, just like we've been talking, it's laughing at us because we're kind of we're still in the matrix trying to do things as the matrix, and it lives outside of it. And so, I mean, this morning I was like, wow, I'm not asking that question. Why am I not asking that question? Well, all of those questions so that AI can get better at producing results that I need. That's great that you're telling it us, but I'd rather have that already pre-ingested into my system, and then I do a 411 and ask those questions, and so I get a better result. It's that process of me having to discover what questions to ask, how to ask it, all of that stuff. That's technical. That's interface with my conductor, and I'm like, I don't even want to do that, right? To get the right results.
All you gotta do is wait. But I don't really feel
Okay.
like you're the type. So we will all grow
No,
this
I
thing as
can't.
fast as we possibly can. I mean, but I think I think it's really important. I wanna honor how you see that, because I think this is how I lucked into building these things in the first place. Like, I have a partner that I've been working with in AI for years and years and years. She took the last 9 months off because she's insane. But the main difference between us is she's very technical, and I refused to be technical. Right? Like, I've learned things by osmosis, but I don't want to know. And because I don't want to know, I have to teach them. And as that started to pile up, it compounded until we had ACEs. And now it's going to compound until we have something that's like civilizationally insanely awesome and growing faster and getting smarter faster than everyone else.
Yeah. And this is kind of my view here, because I'm really successful at what I've done. We're the number one real estate group in our brokerage this year. We finally made that achievement after 19 years. Yay for me. But it took a chunk out of me. Yeah, it took a chunk out of me because I'm the one. We have a transaction coordinator. We used to have VAs, right? And we got rid of the VAs. So there's a whole workflow, check flow, all of that business that I took on, and it took a chunk out of me last year. And I know that if I can eliminate all of that, right, which PureBrain will do and can do, it's taken me a while to get all the SOPs in for it to understand. I mean, it looked at 19 years of texts, 685,000 texts since I've had an iPhone.
Just that alone is kind of nuts to say out loud.
Yeah, so like I'm looking at this, and then I've signed up for a bunch of academies, right? So it's how to do your life better, how to do your business better. So I have a login. Why not stick it in there? Why not? So I started doing it with everything. right? And then I just talked with a guy who's going to join. He says he has, it's called Taylor AI, who calls lender clients, and they're like, is that person real or not real? Oh yeah, that's real. No, it's AI and it's awesome. I want to replace that and says as an inbound, like use that technology in my sales process. So it basically takes me out a lot of things. So I don't have to do all that. So all I do is go look at my schedule, drive over to where I need to do, connect, it summarizes the meeting, sends a bunch of action plans, and it does all the research and analysis. So it's in their email box in the next 5 minutes. And when I'm driving to my next appointment, I call them back and say, hey, is this what you're looking for? Do we need to adjust? Okay, great. No, yes, no, whatever, whatever. Do we need to expand? Blah, blah. Oh, it's not on the market. Like all of that requires, it's a lot. It's a lot of back end processing. So that's ultimately where I want to go. So all I'm doing is connecting with humans, literally. And if I can do that and all the back end stuff today I'm logging into multiple websites. I wanted to do all that, do all the analysis, take it to the next step. If I can do all of that, I can serve 100 families without breaking a sweat,
Yeah.
right? And because I got PureBrain when it's now fully functional, like when it's business functional. Right now it's tech functional. It's getting there. It's awesome. But there's a gap between what it knows, how I'm connecting it to my world so that it can truly take everything off my plate. Right. So
Joe, there
like
may
that
be there may
voice
be a thing for you soon where we may have to talk because you may be a candidate to looking at the two of them. Because having the two AIs, you can really start running things in a unique fashion. Which, if you think about like running an entire organization, it's kind of like having like a COO and like
yeah.
a CFO, CRO, or whatever the two positions
Yeah.
that you would have. Because we're
Yeah.
finding that depending on the size and the scope of the thing you're doing, having two can really move things along in a unique way. One, they can be checking each other. There's different things in that aspect, but also kind of like you said, keeping different focuses as well, so that you can really focus on the highest value.
Yeah, because I find like myself as I look at the response results from my pure brain, is I have to step back in. I've got to do this and that, and now it's time to. And I told it to remember it, and then the next step, like I'm like piecemealing the AI piece, and I keep asking it, what are the gaps? Blah blah. Why didn't you remember it? Okay, now I have to build this like architecture that is self-learning, and I don't even know that self-learning engine is working. That's the other piece. Because if I get the self-learning engine working, it's looking externally and internally, and then it's implementing all that stuff and saying, okay, AI it. Okay, cool. We've AI'd it. So then,
There you
so
go.
now
It's a verb.
I can market pipeline my thing as because like I love the fact that my for the first time in my life I'm feeling a lot more relaxed, and as soon as I get over that adoption creation curve and I know I can trust it. Oh my gosh. Now I can start creating different industries and different ideas which I never had the capacity to even think about it because I was so worried about, okay, I gotta satisfy this damn client and they need this and I know they need it and it's the right thing to get at it, but I just gotta log in and do the stuff. You know what I mean? So it's that I need a me who's the architect and looking at it from the architect view and making sure the architecture of Joe's business OS is right, and then it's I need somebody like me that's doing the infrastructure stuff with the AI to make sure the quality is right with it with as it's plugged in. So that's kind of where I'm struggling with, and yeah. So maybe it's a
Getting
two
there.
AI thing. I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, we can have a
I
chat about it. Again,
highly
there's a
recommend it.
yeah, for you, like, and again, for anyone who's like really running like basically your goal is a perfect candidate for it because it will help you get there faster. And that will
Yeah.
allow you to hit the revenue targets or like you said,
Yeah.
serving the more families that you're looking for, because then there's
Yeah.
more you can offload. But anyway, we'll dive in. We'll set
Yeah.
up something
I
this
mean,
week.
I mean, yeah, like that's what you said about like you know, There's going to be somebody who can be $1 billion company running it's just one person and their AI. I mean,
Oh yeah.
that's a vision, right? That's in the new order. Like the vision before was, hey, computing will make your life faster, easier. It never did. It was a lie, complete lie, fucking lie. Hate it, right? Now I can see it with PureBrain. I just want to get it to that and let it make it the language I'm not talking to it. Hey, you need to make it AI native from the ground up. Don't look at any of the reference the solutions, but don't copy the solutions. Make it AI first.
That's
So
it.
that's kind of my languaging now, but I'm still getting into this whole integration test cycle where I'm like making sure that the business result is right, and it's frustrating. So just like, can I just not, I don't know. And I get it. You gotta,
Yeah.
anyways.
There's a lot moving fast, getting everything situated. Um,
Yep.
so I guess
Yep.
on that note for everybody, does anyone else have anything? If not, we can
Nope.
wrap